Hi guys, I'm Ember. Thanks so much for coming back to my channel. So for today's pick a card, I am so excited to announce that I am doing an amazing collaboration with Lexi the Leo. She has been an absolute light in my life for 2 years. I started watching her before I even started doing tarot cards on my own channel. I didn't even have a channel yet, and she was one of the reasons I was so inspired to make my channel. And so today I just am so honored and excited that I get to do this reading with her. So I am doing what your heart wants, and Lexi is doing what your soul wants. And I have 3 piles today. This pile is pile 1 with the rose quartz. This is pile 2 with the amethyst. And this is pile 3 with the orange calcite. So take your time, go to whatever pile you feel intuitively called to. The links to the piles will be in my description box, and her video will also be in my description box, so please go check her out. And I will give you guys a few seconds, and then we'll get started. Hi, pile 1, welcome to your reading. So for today's pick a card, we are doing what your heart wants. Let's see what your cards are. Sorry, I was going to go into something else. We have new moon in Scorpio, go deeper. Last quarter moon in Pisces, talk less, feel more. Abundance, prepare yourself for incoming abundance. Release any mental blocks you may have. In fairyland and human land, there's enough abundance for everyone. Hidden depths, something hidden is about to come to light. Perhaps a secret or memory at the back of your mind. When we expose what's hidden, we can become free. We have fighting spirit 54, 13 decluttering. We have 40 crystal clear, and 9 tell it like it is. So when I was tapping into your energy, I really felt like, well, first of all, I felt like there was something not clear to you that you really wanted clarity on. But I also feel there's something here about going deeper into healing. There's something here about your heart wanting to, I would say, like declutter your energetic blocks or past pain or traumas, something about wanting to be free. Oh, it's so interesting. There's this meme or whatever that I was looking at the other day, and it was about this like person and another person, and like the person over here is the person you want to be, and you're like moving, but you're tied to this person over here who's you, who is being held back by their like past trauma and past pain. And I don't know, I feel like right here there's like a realization of the past pain that has been holding you back from like fighting to be what you want or who you are, go after your dreams or go after your ideals. There's something really strong here about not being able to move forward in the way that you want because you feel like there's things that keep holding you back. And that definitely is it. I feel like here it's talking about like going deeper into healing, moving into like what is holding you back. What are the things that keep you from going after what you want? What fears are holding you back? And how can you help yourself feel safer so that you can move in the way that you want? And also, how can you stop the criticism of, why can't I just be here? Why can't I just go after what I want? Why do I have to deal with all this? Why did this happen to me? Why do I have to heal what happened to me kind of feelings? Because I have those too. Like, that's totally normal. And so it's like, I think what your heart really wants is like to move forward. And it doesn't even have to be like the first stage of healing. You could have done a lot of healing, and maybe you've done a lot of healing and like you're at this point of being like, okay, I've done a lot of healing. Why am I still being held back by these certain things? And it's funny because I am like literally in the same situation. So I've done a lot of healing on myself. I have sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse. And I have done so much healing. I'm talking about like 2 years of healing. And there's always this part of me that's like, why am I still having problems with putting myself out there or standing in my power? Or like for me lately, it's been community. Ever since I moved and broke up with the person I was with for 11 years, I have just been hermit mode, and just isolating. And I know I need to put myself out there and make more friends. And I have this strong fear of doing that. Like I really do, because I've been very hurt. And it's such a grind, to try to put myself out there. Even one step feels so overwhelming. And it's like, so I'm trying to like fight my fear, right? trying to fight my fear of doing it. And I'm also trying to fight the overwhelm. And I'm also trying to fight the part of me that's critical of myself. That's like, why can't you just put yourself out there? And so I don't know. I just feel like that example is probably very helpful in where you're at, because I feel like it's something similar. It doesn't have to be putting yourself out there. It could be with love. It could be with a career. And I think that it's just something about, like, the thing is like, it's like, how can we, like me included, accept that healing is never done and it's not linear? And just because we've done a lot of healing doesn't mean that, it doesn't mean it's ever going to end. And how do we stop I guess for me personally, and I think you too, the critical part of ourselves that tells us that we should be here, we should be over here, we should be over here, and everything should be fine, and we should be over this by now. That for me, that part of my critical part is like a part of something my parents used to tell me. And so it's like recognizing that sometimes the voice in our head is not ours, it's somebody else's. And I think there's something here about having somebody else's voice inside your head. It doesn't even have to be critical. It could be shaming, it could be judging, it could be angry, it could be chastising yourself. I mean, there's so many ways that this can present itself, but there definitely is something about how do you talk to the critical part of yourself that's telling you that you should be over it, and like tell that part, like, what do you need to feel safer? And then also, like, you can't speak to me that way and set a boundary, right? Like, you can't speak to me that way. If you have a fear, talk to me about it. But if you want to like trash talk me, that can't work here, because we don't deserve that. I don't deserve that, right? And so that there needs to be an inner dialogue, or at least this is my suggestion, an inner dialogue of talking about, like, what is the voice saying? How can I communicate with the voice in a constructive way? How can I make them feel heard? And then how can I also set boundaries? And so I think that could probably pretty help you. There's also something about a memory or something hidden that's going to come to light or coming to light. And sometimes we don't recognize how much our pain is affecting every single move we make. We like to, we've been told in our society that what happened in the past doesn't matter, that, it's easy to move on from things. And that's just not true. Our subconscious is extremely strong. And if you've had a very difficult childhood or just difficult upbringing, it doesn't even have to be difficult in the eyes of society, right? Trauma is subjective. So if you feel like it was overwhelming regardless of the circumstances, regardless of what happened to you, right? And so it's like, how can we honor that? And I lost my train of thought. Sorry, guys. How can we honor that? And also, it's interesting. So there's another thing coming up. So there's something that's called disassociation. And it's basically when you lose your train of thought, you can't think clearly, you can't see sometimes, you can't hear sometimes, there's a numbing that happens, and it's very like subtle. So it's like very hard to catch. And I can catch it because I have done a lot of work on disassociation. I didn't think it was even real because because they don't talk about it very much, but it's a real thing. And if you've had any kind of trauma or pain, that can be something that happens. And so I found like 3 times in this reading that I've found that loss of train of thought and a little bit of disassociation. So I just want to honor that and say that may be something that's happening to you, especially because we have hidden depths and go deeper. There's something about something coming to light that hasn't been here before, and getting clear and decluttering whatever it is that's coming up for you, and just recognizing that not to push it super hard, but just to be very gentle if you want to go into healing with whatever it is that's coming up. If it's coming up to heal, that means you're ready to heal it. So just recognizing that you're growing, whether or not you think you are, and you're coming into a place of finding more about yourself and learning more about yourself and healing more about yourself and feeling more. Like this card, talk less, feel more. This is about feeling more instead of thinking more, right? Like we think, and our thinking can be very challenging and hard, and it's meant to lead us away from pain. Our minds are meant to lead us away from pain. And so if you're having a lot of thoughts right now, that's distracting you from trying to feel, because the feelings are dangerous. If you've been taught that feelings are dangerous, then that may be why this is coming up. But it's very interesting. And I just want to bring a lot of compassion in for the fact that there's a lot of pain here. I can feel the pain, and there's also a lot of like confusion and like fear. And so I just want to honor that too. And also there's also this feeling of like wanting more abundance, wanting more clarity, wanting to feel better. There's just this wanting to feel better for you guys. And I just want to like keep fighting, because we have fighting spirit. You have a fighting spirit. Your heart is fighting for clarity. Your heart is fighting for clearing the energetic blocks. Your heart is fighting for the truth of what happened to you, or the truth of what you're going through, and is wanting to pull yourself and put yourself back together in a more cohesive manner. And I think it's very honorable and beautiful that you want to do that your heart wants to do that. And so how can you honor your heart without pushing yourself too hard? How can you honor your heart by pushing yourself a little if you haven't been pushing yourself, and taking whatever the next indicated step is, even if that's just getting out of bed in the morning, whatever it is for you, it's taking a very tiny step, very, very small step into what you want without making yourself feel super overwhelmed, so that you feel like, wow, I'm actually doing this, but also like not too much to where you get pushed back into even more resistance, because there is resistance here too. And resistance is another protector that is a part of ourselves that keeps us from pain, and our brains keep us from pain. So it doesn't matter in the way that you want to put it, in the way psychology puts it or whatever. I have a way I talk about it, and that's the way I talk about it. Parts of ourselves, and there's protector parts, and there's the manager, and there's, it's called IFS, internal family systems. So if you're interested in IFS, it's very, very, very good therapy. It has helped me a lot personally, a lot with my trauma. Okay, so I wanted to see tarot for you guys. I'm gonna pull some tarot. Okay, sorry, I messed all the cards up already. I already messed the cards up. If you hear my kitty in the background, I had to put her in the other room because she was jumping on the table so much. I have a new kitten. She's amazing. Her name's Luna. Okay, Spirit. Four of Wands. So I feel like this is really interesting. So I was going to, my initial reaction for Four of Wands is like what the card is about happy family. But I saw the go deeper, and I put it on the Four of Wands went on go deeper. And I think that there's something here about going deeper into your family, whatever happened to you as a child with your family, or it could be happening now too. It doesn't have to be in the past, but what I'm feeling here is that it's past stuff coming up for you to look at and to heal, so that your heart can be free and move in the way that it wants, and go after what it wants, and feel and love and be and have abundance in your heart space. Because when I was tapping into your energy, I saw the chakras, and there was this feeling of like this pain around the heart chakra, and not being able to move because the heart chakra has pain around it, and not being able to feel the way you want to feel, or move through the feelings as easily, or move in the way that you would if you hadn't had trauma or pain in the past. Anything else, Spirit? What does their heart truly want? This is a wonderful reading, you guys. It's very beautiful. Eight of Cups. So this is walking away. This is walking away from something. What are we walking away from? I think it could be the past pain and trauma. It could be a situation. What are we walking away from? We've got the Queen of Swords, and we've got Seven of Pentacles. So this is walking away from something that's been murky for you. This is walking away from something that has been murky for you, something that maybe you've put a lot of work in. It could be walking away from something you've invested something in, because you're now seeing the truth of something. There's something about seeing the truth of something in something you invested in, having to walk away from it to serve yourself. Your heart wants you to walk away from something. I don't know what it is. It could be different for all of you, and that's why but it's definitely surrounding something you've invested your energy in, your resources in, your money in. It could be your money, it doesn't have to be. It's your energetic resources, your physical resources, something where you've invested your resources in, and now you're seeing the truth of something. It's about being very discerning. There's something about being discerning and seeing the truth and walking away from something that's not serving you. Okay, anything else for what their heart truly wants, Spirit? Okay, we've got Strength and the Magician. So what your heart really wants is for you to, I love that we have Strength with the lion, which is, Leo energy, because Lexi the Leo, I love it. It's awesome. She's wonderful. I cannot rave about her enough. Okay, so there's something about you being the magician in your own life and putting things together. And I see somebody putting together their home, but I think it's like an analogy for like life, or a metaphor for life, not metaphor. I don't know if it's metaphor or analogy. Don't come after me. I don't know. There's something about you as a magician in your life, putting your life together in the way that you want and manifesting the way that you want, and also putting in energetic resources into the things that you really want to grow and the things that you really want to move towards. And there's something about finding your inner lion, finding your inner strength, and moving forward with that beautiful strength of yourself, because you are strong, pile one. This is, I would feel, in my opinion, after all the readings I've done, this is pretty advanced in like terms of the way somebody thinks and the way somebody feels and the way somebody is healing. I feel it's very advanced. And so I just want to honor and talk about how strong you are, and your heart is seeking something deeper than you already even have done, which I feel like what you have done is deeper than most people already. So I feel like your heart is seeking something even deeper than that. And the deeper you go into healing, the deeper you go into joy and love, and the deeper you the deeper you are connected to your soul and to your heart and to yourself. And so there's something here about being very connected to your heart and yourself. And I think that's very beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to get a couple oracle cards. These are really beautiful. They're called I don't know how to say that. Marukh. I totally butchered that, guys. Anyways, they are on Etsy and they're amazing, and I'm like so obsessed with their cards right now. Okay, Spirit, what else? Any oracle cards for pile one? Oh, I love this. You will find your place in the world even when you don't know how. God, you will find your place in the world even when you don't know how. You will find your place. You will belong. You will find your place and you will feel like you belong. That's what I'm hearing Spirit say. I got believe in yourself and your ability to carry out your dream. God, I love these cards so much, you guys, because like when I'm sad or hurt or upset, it's very encouraging, you know, and sometimes you really need that. Take chances. You'll realize how perfect something will turn out. So there's something here about taking a chance, taking a risk, and it's turning out even better than you could ever imagine. Wow, pile one, I am so honored that I got to read for you guys today, and I just hope that it helped you in some way. It was very interesting and very intricate and beautiful. And please go check out Lexi the Leo. She is absolutely amazing. Her video will be in my description box. And thank you guys so much for being here. And I will see you guys next time. Hi, Pal 2. Welcome to your reading. So for today's pick a card, I am doing What Your Heart Truly Wants. Your cards are New Moon in Leo, Shine. New Moon in Cancer, Relax. Fairy spotting, it's time to go fairy spotting. It's said that seeing is believing, but in fact, the opposite is true. Believing is seeing. Believe in magic. Open your eyes and see the magic that's all around in nature. The fairy of the northern light says you are a part of nature, so you are magical too. The best of you, 3. 8, the journey. 19, connect with nature. 28, trust your intuition. So first of all, I want to talk about what your heart truly wants is for you to see how far you've come and how amazing you are and how much you've been through. When I tapped into your energy, I felt like you guys have been through a lot of pain, a lot of stuff. You've worked really hard to get to where you're at. That's what I'm feeling very strongly. Like you had to work very hard to get to the point you're at. I think it's with healing. I feel like it's with career. I mean, it could be different for all of you in the way that it's coming out, but there's something about you having to work really hard to get to where you're at. Spirit just keeps reiterating that to me. And what your heart truly wants is encouragement and praise, and to see how far you've come, and to also enjoy the journey that you're on. And here's the thing. All these readings are like connected to me in some way. I just went through a really hard thing. I broke up with the person I was with for 11 years. I have 2 kids with him. And it is very hard after everything that's happened and having to like heal my broken heart to enjoy the journey. I'm like, really? Enjoy the journey? Everything is so hard right now, right? And so there's something here about something being very similar to what you're going through. I don't know if you've just been through something very difficult, or you have been through a lot of things that are difficult, or wherever it is, or even if it's both. There's something here about how can you enjoy and find pleasure and relax into yourself, into what you love, into pleasure, into finding things that give you joy. And I'm not talking about like, sometimes I think like if you're a Capricorn or have a lot of Capricorn in your chart, it can be like, I feel like work is pleasure, and it can be pleasure, right? But it's like, how can you find joy in simple things? A cup of coffee, essential oils, Palo Santo. It could be walking in nature. It could be anything. And how can you rediscover? I think this is about your heart wants you to rediscover what you find joy in and what your soul is calling you for. And I think that Lexi's reading is going to be insane for you guys, because there's something here about what your soul is yearning for or what your soul is calling you to. And it's also something to do with spirituality, because we have seeing is believing and we have believe in magic. And so I feel like you guys have advanced you already are very strong spiritually, but there's something here about going into the next level of advancement, and or even like going into a next level of advancement, but even going back to the basics of what spirituality means to you, maybe going back to something you haven't, like for me, right? I got into spirituality and I went the witchy route first. And then now I'm into like more of the like, different types, like tarot cards, Reiki, like more of that kind of stuff, right? Because there's different types of spirituality, and it's all, in my opinion, it can be all on the same wavelength, right? But maybe it's like going back to what you did before you went into this level of advancement of spirituality. There's something about going back to basics and advancing with the basics again, and getting connected to what made you excited about getting into spirituality in the first place. And it doesn't even have to be spirituality. I'm feeling it's spirituality, but it could be something else. But it's getting back to the basics of what calls to you, what makes you feel joy, what spirituality is to you. I don't know. There's something here about feeling like something about spirituality turning a little bit. And I don't know. See, the thing is, lately, like I feel like there's sometimes when you get into spirituality, you have other people that can practice darker stuff, and that can affect you. And so there's something about spirituality not being as fun as it used to be before because of that. And I think the call is to get back to basics, to figure out how to get back to your own power. There's something about your heart getting back into like feeling your own power and moving into your power. And yeah, there's just something about that here. And then there's something about giving yourself a break. There's something about giving yourself a break and not pushing yourself so hard to be something or be somebody or work really hard. There's something about relaxing into who you are, relaxing into your emotions, and feeling yourself again and connecting with nature. I feel like you got 2 nature cards. Sorry, my cards are messed up, I feel like, for some reason. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. There's something here about dread. I'm feeling dread right now, and I don't know why. I just want to pause for a second because I'm trying to get away from it. I'm like, it's funny because I'm trying to get away from it and I should be going into it, and that's why I stopped. Because there's something about fear. There's something about fear and dread here. I don't know where it is. It could be with spirituality. It could be with somebody affecting you. There's something about somebody affecting you spiritually or emotionally. It doesn't have to be spiritually. I'm trying to like put it into like a thing where it fits with everybody. But there's something about dread and fear here dealing with somebody, an individual. There's something here about that. And I had to talk about it because it needs to be talked about to be validated, because there's something about validating your feelings about something happening to you, even if no one else can see it, even if you feel like you can't see it, even if there's no evidence, right? Physical evidence that it's happening. There's something about validating your own feelings about something happening to you spiritually. And I didn't want to even look at it. And I feel like there's maybe a part of you that doesn't even want to look at it, but that needs to be looked at. There's something about your heart needing to validate your emotions. It doesn't have to be spirituality. Again, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes people aren't into spirituality, and I don't want to like just put it into that box, not even a box, but you get what I'm saying. So there's something about validating your feelings. Your heart wants to be validated. Your heart wants to be validated. Your heart wants to be given a break. Your heart wants to be seen. There's something about being seen for who you are. And there's also something about shining. There's something about shining. It's like, how can you shine without pushing yourself to shine? How can you, like, I don't know. I have this feeling of like, for me personally, and I think it applies to you, but there's something about shining. Like I have this feeling of like, I need to shine because then I will feel good enough, then I will feel seen, and then I will, so there's something about shining without pushing yourself to do it for other reasons. You are good enough just the way you are. You don't have to do anything to be good enough. You don't have to do anything to be beautiful. And your heart is wanting to be seen as it is. Your heart is wanting to be seen as it is. Your heart is wanting to be honored. It's wanting to be seen for its beauty. And I'm going to get into the tarot because I feel like I'm getting so many blocks right here. I'm so sorry, you guys. I feel like I'm getting blocks for some reason. Okay, what's going on? What does their heart truly want? 7 of Wands. There's something about not fighting. There's something about wanting to not fight so hard anymore for something. The Tower. Okay. What's this Tower about, Spirit? Ace of Swords. What's this Tower about? Judgment. Huh. Interesting. Oh, one more. 6 of Wands. Whoop! I totally just dropped all my cards, you guys. I don't know if you guys feel discombobulated lately, but there's something here about being discombobulated. There's something about being discombobulated because I feel super discombobulated right now, so I apologize. Hold on one second. Okay, pile 2. I'm so sorry. I had to pause for a second because I really wanted to get clear on what was going on because I was getting very upset with myself over how the reading was going, which happens sometimes. So there's something about you going through a lot of Tower moments in your life, and your heart is wanting you to see how far you've come, see what you've been through, see how much you've had to overcome. There's something about not seeing yourself clearly. It's not seeing how beautiful you are, not seeing how much you've done, how many victories you've had. And it's like this, your heart really wants you to see how far you've come, what you've been through, and that you've had to overcome things that most people have not. And I don't know. There's just something here about maybe you're beating yourself up. Maybe there's a lot of criticism. Maybe there's a lot of judgment. There's something about wearing dark colored glasses and not being able to see yourself clearly. And I think what your heart really wants is for you to see yourself clearly. And that goes back to what I was saying before about getting back to the basics, of who you are at your core level. How do we strip away all of the crap that has been put on us that we've been through? And how can we get connected to our soul, our core, our heart? And how can we see through those eyes, through our heart's eyes of who we are, and not letting our mind take over, and not letting our anger or fear or judgment or criticism, whatever it is for you, not letting that take over. And even if there's glimpses of it, how can you see the glimpses of who you are and how beautiful you are and how far you've come, and judge yourself clearly, because this Judgment card is here, and it's to deal with the Truth and the Tower. And so I feel like it's about judging yourself clearly with the truth over all the Tower moments that you've had, over the perseverance of the things that you've had to go through, and getting to the victory of that. There's something about seeing how far you've come and giving yourself a break because of how far you've come. There's something about not pushing yourself so hard anymore because of you've overcome so much. And it's how can you move through life slowly, gently, with gentleness and gracefulness? How can you move through life in that way? And how can you move through life without pushing yourself so hard that it knocks you off kilter? Because there's something about the balance being righted, and the balance of pushing yourself and the balance of resting. And I think that you've pushed yourself super hard your whole life. And I think that what your heart is wanting is to relax and to kind of learn about how to continue to rebalance itself. And it's that's, I think, what your heart really wants, is the rebalancing of the pushing and the resting, and the rebalancing of what you've been through, and seeing clearly how far you've come. That's what I feel like your heart really wants. And I'm so sorry it took me forever, and I got discombobulated, and the cards fell, and you know what I mean? All that stuff happened. I don't know why I just heard someone say, well, just like my life. With greater awareness, you will find the answers you're looking for. Don't fear a blank canvas. Use it to turn your life into a masterpiece. So this is interesting because I've been trying to think about this too. It's like becoming nobody. How do we become somebody that's blank? How do we become somebody that isn't skewed by society, isn't skewed by what's happened to us, doesn't that can become blank, so that we can write like on the beautiful canvas anew and like create a masterpiece. Don't lose yourself trying to hold on to somebody. Let go. I mean, really let go. There's something better on the horizon. So interesting. So we have don't lose yourself trying to hold on to someone, and let go. I mean, really let go. There's something better on the horizon. There's something about choosing people that don't drag us down, that like, I don't know, I'm seeing a climb, like when you're climbing and then someone's like attached to you and then like dragging, every time you climb, they like drag you back down a step. And so there's something about how can you let go of the people that drag you down? And how can you let go of the people that are not championing you, that are not climbing the mountain with you? You want to climb the mountain with people that want to climb it with you and that are willing to push you up when you cannot push yourself up anymore, and that aren't going to pull you back down with their own stuff, with whatever that is. Oh, pile 2. Thank you so much for being here. Please go check out Lexi Leo's video on what your soul wants. I feel like that would be very helpful for you to see. And again, I apologize for being so discombobulated and taking forever to get to the message, but I really hope you guys like my reading, and I will see you guys next time. Hi, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. So for today's pick a card, I am doing what your heart truly wants. Your cards are New Moon in Sagittarius, focus on the positive. First quarter moon in Virgo, assess the situation. Inspiration, be prepared as you'll soon receive a visit from the fairy of inspiration. Come dusk or dawn, she can call at any time. Find balance, find the balance between your work, rest, and playtime, and you will have more energy, harmony, and productivity in your life. Take a power nap. 39 big changes, 17 updates to your system, 12 leap of faith, and 50 be open to receiving. So when I was first tapping into your energy, I feel like you've done a lot of healing and a lot of, let's say, updates to your system. There's something about you putting yourself together again, you putting yourself back together again is what I'm hearing Spirit say, and going through a lot of changes to get to where you're at. You have done a lot of leap of faith. I feel like, I don't know if you just made a big leap of faith, but there's something strong about you making a big change, something that was a leap of faith, and updating yourself to go after what you want. It's like, I don't know, there's a lot of like feeling of like pride. There's like pride I'm feeling. And I think it's from your spirit guides. It could be from you, but I feel like it's from your spirit guides, and being like so much pride over what you have accomplished and how far you have come and how much you have done to help others, to love yourself, to love others, to change your life and go after your ideas. I'm feeling a lot of Aquarius and Uranus energy about like being evolutionarily, like going after yourself in an evolutionary way. That's really interesting. There's something about like you healing and like going in advancement of healing and spirituality, or it could be either one, it could be both. And like moving in that way to update your system, because that's what I'm feeling. Update yourself to become better, a better human, a better soul, a better person, to like give yourself what you want, but not just that. It's not just that. It's like helping others extremely strongly. There's something you've done that has helped others in such a way that it has changed people's lives. And that is really strongly what I'm feeling here. Like you have done so much work to help yourself and to help others. And by helping yourself, I think you've realized that you can help others by helping yourself. And that's really beautiful. And I think that you've done a lot for others. And I think that what your heart wants is to be open to receiving from others to you. There's something about opening up to like receiving and like being okay with receiving. Cause I don't know about you, but like for me, like it's very hard for me to be open to receiving. I'm so good at giving, but receiving is very difficult for me. I feel like I'm doing something wrong when I'm receiving, because that's one of my traumas or past pain, right? It's like I didn't have parents that gave to me. I always gave to them. And I'm afraid if I am open to receiving, then it's under manipulation or narcissism or something like that, to where if I'm open to receiving, then what I'm really open to receiving is something that is painful and difficult and like not really what it seems. And so I don't know if you've had some kind of pain with that in specific with receiving, but there's something here about that. Sorry if you hear my cat in the background. I had to put her away because she was like jumping up on the table and like completely like would not let up. Yes, so she's in the other room. Her name's Luna. I just got her. She's a kitten. She's so cute. I'm feeling bad. I feel like I should go let her out. Hold on, guys. Okay, if she gets up on the table, then she gets up on the table. So there is, so I don't know about the receiving, but this is talking about maybe you are healing your receiving, and maybe that's what this is about. Maybe you're moving into like being open to receiving in a more advanced way than before, and it's because you've done a lot of healing. And there's also something about finding the balance between work, rest, and playtime. And I don't know about you, but I have such a difficult time with that. And there's something about your heart wanting you to find the balance. And I think what you are doing is finding the balance. A lot of this is something you're already doing. Like it's interesting. I don't know why I think of like what your heart wants is something you don't have, but what I think your heart wants is something that you've already cultivated, and you're just going to the next level of whatever that is. And there's something about being inspired and like getting more. It's funny. I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but the more you get inspired, the more inspiration comes is what I'm hearing, which is very interesting. And there's something about you have a spark inside of you right now, and it's growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And there's something about the more you grow that spark, the more you're going to see clearly, the more you're going to find your truth, the more that you're going to be inspired to continue what you're doing. And so it's like continuing what you're doing, because I feel like Pile 3, you've done a lot of work and you have really listened to your heart. And this is about like, you have listened to your heart and you have like gotten very connected with yourself and your soul and your heart. And because of that, you have grown so much. And because of the growing, you've helped others grow. And now you're moving on to the next level of that. And I think it's really beautiful that like you have listened to your heart, you have cleared energetic blocks, you have done the work. And I think a lot of what this reading is about is about encouraging you to continue what you're doing. Because it's like, I'm not seeing anything you're not doing already. I feel it so strongly. I feel this inspiration. I feel this strength of heart and strength of conviction in you. And I think this is like you're focusing on the positive as much as possible. I don't know if you make grateful lists. I feel like you might, or even just think about what makes you grateful. I'm really honored that like, this is beautiful. This is very beautiful. I just am, taken aback, I feel like, because of how beautiful that this is and how much you've done the work and how much you are such a beautiful person and you have a beautiful heart and you've done the work, done the work to do this. And it's like, keep doing what you're doing is what I'm hearing Spirit say. Keep doing what you're doing and you're going to be just fine. Okay, Spirit, what does their heart truly want? The Devil in reverse. So this is awesome because you've overcome devil energy, which is Capricorn energy. The devil gets a bad rap though, but this is about overcoming your vices, overcoming your problems, overcoming your obsessions, overcoming your addictions. This is about overcoming your addictions and overcoming the things that you have it's interesting. So you've put yourself, I believe, you put yourself on this earth as a soul and like had a plan before. And like, this is what my soul's going to learn. And this is what my heart's going to do. And this is what I'm going to do. I think Lexi's reading is going to be so transformative for you guys. But this is what I want to do as a soul. And these are the lessons I want to learn. And you are doing that. You have overcome the devil. You have done a lot of work to learn the lessons in this life. You figured out what the lessons are, 1, and 2, you're doing everything you can to learn the lessons and you have to learn them over and over and over again. And I feel like you continually learned them over and over and over again. And it's beautiful. We've got King of Cups. This is like you mastering your emotions. I feel like you are a master of your emotions. We've got 2 of Wands in reverse. What's this 2 of Wands in reverse, Spirit? 3 of Cups. I feel like you've overcome the decision. Okay, so I don't know. So I'm getting 2 things here. So there's a decision that hasn't been made about celebrating yourself. And then there's also another group of you that have made the decision to celebrate yourself. And that's something you've overcome. So whatever group you want to put yourself in that group. But what your heart truly wants is to continue to celebrate yourself, to love yourself, to celebrate and see yourself clearly, to continue to trust your own intuition. And we've got the Emperor. This is about you stepping into Aries energy, you stepping into going after what you want. It's like, keep going after what you want with the strength and the conviction of your heart. That's what I'm hearing Spirit say. Okay, let's see. Spirit, what else? Don't compare your life to others. Your journey is your own. So this is not comparing I do this all the time, guys. I cannot help it. It's so hard not to compare yourself to others. And so this is about not comparing yourself to others and realizing that your journey is your own and that you have what it takes and that you are beautiful on your own and that no matter what anyone else is doing, it doesn't matter because you're doing what you need to do to be healthy and to be happy and to be safe. Don't spend too much time in despair. Move through the emotions and release it. I love that it came on to the King of Cups. This is about learning about how to transmute the energy even more than you already have. Forgiveness. It sets you free. It keeps you from hanging on to what was never meant to be. I hear rejection is divine protection. That's what I'm hearing right here. Give yourself some credit for how far you've come. Yeah, and I love that it's on the Three of Cups, which is about celebrating yourself. Give yourself some credit for how far you've come. I think your heart just wants you to continue giving yourself credit, to see yourself as beautifully as you are, to see how far you've come, to love yourself for what you've been through and how it's been hard. We have you're stepping into your highest divine life path. I believe that too. Like this is some really advanced level of stuff. I'm talking about healing, spirituality. I'm talking about your heart. I'm talking about your personality. I'm talking about everything. Remember you came here to teach others. I think that a lot of you have been teaching others. I felt that very strongly in the beginning. You will have financial security in life. I love that. That's the best card ever. I don't know if some of you are worried about your financial security. Some of you may not. Oh, hi, Kitty. She's here. Oh, don't get... Sorry, she paused it. Say hi. Want to say hi? Anyways, so thank you so much, Pile 3, for being here. I am so honored that I got to read for you guys. And please go check out Lexi's video about what your soul is yearning for, what your soul wants. And I will see you guys next time.